Yeah, so I have my first credit card, and I still don't feel very comfortable using it regularly. I like to put a lot on my debit card because I don't like carrying the balance on my credit card. So I was wondering if there is a way to feel a little bit more comfortable about that.
So what is it about carrying the balance that freaks you out?
Just making that monthly payment on time, making sure I'm keeping up with it and not letting it get out of hand, or building up more than I can keep up with.
Okay, does anybody else here have that fear where you're like, ooh, I've seen people get into debt and I don't know if I want to do all that. Does anybody else have that fear?
I'm in the same boat. That's why I haven't started a credit card yet. I just kind of feel like if I can pay it off with a debit, that's just kind of the safest route to go.
Okay, so it's a really natural fear to have. I had the same fear when I was your age. I actually kind of started getting clear on what I wanted out of my life and realized that I would have to deal with credit. Does anybody else feel like, okay, well, I've got student loan debt, so that makes me weary about credit cards? You mentioned that. Does anybody else feel that way? You do feel that way? So, and then again, to your point, what makes you guys think that you would go overboard with the credit cards?
I guess just the nature of online shopping and the swiping culture these days. It's so easy to just cha-ching or type in a card number. So I feel like it's easy to not have that limit envisioned in your head, or not want to check or be scared to look at the app and go over. Just kind of with like the online shopping culture.
Okay, I'm about to tell you guys the secret of how not to fall for online shopping culture. Do you want to know what it is?
Yes.
You have to get really clear on what you want in your life because there's always going to be a trade-off.
I've been wanting to travel like you said. I've honestly, I haven't been out of the US a whole lot, so my heart is like pulling me towards Europe, but my instinct is to save and save and save, and so every time I get a paycheck, I put about half of it in savings, and I've been saving for 3 months for Europe.
Yeah.
But I'm way too scared to even think about like taking out a credit card or taking out any loans to go away. I just want to save and use cash if I can.
Yeah, so the reason I asked this question is because, and granted, you guys work for TransUnion, so you're a little advanced than most people when it comes to this topic. But the reason I asked is because if you are really, really clear on what you want, normally, even if you do take out a credit card, you already have the discipline to save. For example, you're already saving half your income, and you already have the discipline to not necessarily overspend, from my understanding, right? So I think sometimes people just don't trust themselves because they saw other people get into trouble, or they hear a lot of stories. I'm sure you guys hear stories. Have you heard any stories? Is that why you're, yeah. Yeah, lots of horror stories. You see stuff on YouTube all the time, the amount of debt people are under.